Hi guys, this is the same, if you saw the live video for Reading with Ray earlier this afternoon, this is just a re-recording since that one was sideways, and I apologize. You know, you could so let me know in the comments that it was sideways. But so I'm going to re-record it just so we have one going the right direction, so I apologize for that. We are reading we're going to finish Ivy and Bean Take Care of the Babysitter by Annie Barrows and Sophie Blackall, published by Chronicle Kids. You may say my husband just came home from work while I'm recording this, so you may see him like pass behind me. So you see a mailman walk by. That's just my husband. It's all right. I'll let him live here with me. It's all good. All right, and Daisy Ray is actually outside with him right now, so she's not going to do a video today. All right, so for Ivy and Bean were up in the attic where they weren't supposed to be. Nancy was being a bad babysitter, not watching them. So let's see how this all turns out with the babysitting. All right, so this chapter's one is silver and the other's gold. Ivy and Bean were playing in the living room when Nancy finally finished vacuuming. They were playing doll babysitters. Bean's doll was the kid. She had crawled out on the roof and was dancing on the chimney. Ivy's doll was the babysitter. She was having a fit. "Come down before you fall," wailed Ivy's doll. "Maybe I will and maybe I won't," said Bean's doll. And suddenly there was an earthquake. The house was a tall stack of books, and Bean's doll fell quite a ways. "Oh no, my legs are broken," shouted Bean's doll. "Luckily, I'm a doctor." Ivy's doll jumped up. "Let's put band-aids on them." Too late. The volcano next door is erupting. Here comes the lava. It lifts the house up and carries it for miles. Ivy picked up the attic book and threw it across the room. The babysitter is buried in rubble. Nancy walked into the living room looking crabby. "What a mess. You two can just pick up all those books yourselves. I'm tired of cleaning up after you." "But we're playing," said Bean. "Well, stop playing and pick up those books," snapped Nancy. "I want this place looking perfect when Mom and Dad come home." She glanced at the clock, which is going to be soon. "That's not fair," Bean started yelling. "We're having fun." Suddenly, she stopped. Nancy looked weird. Her eyelids were silver and her eyelashes were blue. She had forgotten to wash the makeup off. "Have you looked in the mirror lately?" asked Bean. "You're colorful," said Ivy. Nancy ran down the hall to the bathroom. She banged the door shut. Bean heard the water running. "I guess we don't have to pick up now," said Ivy. "She'll still make us do it in a few minutes," sighed Bean. "My babysitters clean up for me," said Ivy. "So does Leona, but Nancy's not a real babysitter," said Bean. She tossed her doll onto the floor. Playing was no fun once you knew you had to clean it up. She missed Leona. What if Nancy was going to be her babysitter forever? Her parents would like it, and Nancy would like it too because of the money. Ugh, Bean couldn't let that happen. "I have an idea," said Bean. "Come on." She got up and walked down the hall, and Ivy followed. Bean leaned close to the bathroom door and said loudly, "If it weren't for me, you'd be in big trouble." Nancy opened the door. Her face was wet and blotchy. "What?" "It's pretty lucky for you that Mom didn't come in and see that silver stuff," Bean said. Nancy stared at her for a moment. "Okay, thanks," she said. Bean leaned against the doorway. "It's almost like I'm the babysitter," she said. "You are not," said Nancy. "I'm the babysitter." "But I'm keeping you out of trouble like a babysitter," explained Bean. Nancy opened her mouth, but she didn't say anything. "That's pretty nice of me, I think. And when we were in the attic, you didn't even know it because you were down here," said Bean. "Anything could have happened to us," Ivy nodded. "But you're fine," argued Nancy. "But I had to take care of myself," Bean said. "What do you want, Bean?" asked Nancy with narrow eyes. "Money," said Bean. "Since I was a babysitter, I should get some of your money." "What?" yelled Nancy. "Why should I give you money? I had to do all that vacuuming." "But if you had been paying attention, we wouldn't have been in the attic and you wouldn't have had to vacuum," Bean said. "I think you should give me $5. "No way." Bean shook her head. "Mom's going to be mad about the makeup." Nancy looked like she wanted to slam the door, but she didn't. "I'll give you $1, she said finally. "5, said Bean. "2, said Nancy. "4, said Bean. Deal, said Nancy. You promise not to tell. And you too, Ivy? We promise, said Bean. Right, Ivy? Oh. I told you we were going to get interrupted by a cat and a mailman. Nancy looked at the two girls for a moment. From now on, I'm only babysitting kids who can't talk, she said, and slammed the bathroom door shut. Ivy and Bean walked back down the hall. That's $2 for each of us, said Bean. I think I'll buy a doll baby. Me too, said Ivy. We can have twins. Just desserts. A tornado had just hit Dollland when Bean's mom opened the front door. Hi, sweetie, said her mother. How did it go? Where's Nancy? Hi, Ivy. Hi, said Bean. It was fine. I don't know where Nancy is. Hi, said Ivy. She made it sound like a siren. Here come the firefighters. Well, there you are, said Bean's mom as Nancy came into the living room. How was it, honey? Nancy took a deep breath. Bean looked up at her. I think I'm too young to babysit, Mom, Nancy said. Bean's mom looked worried. Why, sweetie? She turned to Bean. Bean, did you misbehave? Me? Bean said with wide eyes. I was perfect. Why don't you want to babysit again, honey? Said Bean's mom. She turned to Nancy and brushed her hair out of her face. I just don't like it. Nancy said, I was nervous the whole time. Nervous? What were you nervous about? Asked Bean's mom. Bean wrapped her fingers around her own neck and dangled her tongue out of her mouth. Nancy saw her. I was just nervous. I think I'll wait until I'm older before I babysit again. Too bad, said Ivy. I thought you were a great babysitter. I was hoping you could babysit for me one day. No, said Nancy. Nancy, said Bean's mom, I think Ivy's being very nice. You don't have to babysit if you don't want to, but you may not be rude. Nancy clenched her fist into balls and looked at the ceiling. I am being driven out of my mind. Maybe you need to take some time in your room then, said Bean's mom sternly. Fine! And Nancy stomped off down the hall. Bean's mom looked after her for a moment and then turned to Ivy and Bean. Did something happen while we were gone? Happened, said Bean. Nothing happened. Not a thing, said Ivy. The two girls finished playing. They lay on the floor, relaxing among the books and dolls. You know, said Ivy, I wish Nancy would babysit me. Yuck, said Bean. Why? I could use $2 more, said Ivy. I want to buy some dirt so I can make my own volcano like Sophie W.'s. Oh, that's better than a doll baby, said Bean. Let's use our money for dirt. We should be able to buy a lot of dirt for $4, said Ivy. I want it to go all the way up to my porch so I can jump into the crater. Cool, said Bean. Tomorrow's Sunday. We have a whole day to make a volcano. Ivy looked at the ceiling. I wish we could make a tornado too. Yeah, that would be fun, Bean thought for a moment. You know, she said, my dad has a leaf blower. Oh boy, Ivy wiggled happily. We can blow your playhouse over. Bean's mom came into the living room. I just called your mom, Ivy. She says you can stay for dinner if you want. Yes, yelled Ivy and Bean at the same time. Bean's mom smiled. Smart move. We're having cream puffs for dessert. We are? Asked Bean. She loved how the cream came shooting out onto both sides of her face when she took a bite. How come? I want to celebrate Nancy's first time as a babysitter, said her mother. And to celebrate how good Ivy and I were, added Bean. Right? Right, that too, said Bean's mom, and she left the room. Bean leaned close to Ivy and whispered, Can you believe how great this day turned out? And there are still lots of hours left, said Ivy. The end. All right, so we have finished Ivy and Bean Take Care of the Babysitter. This book is available on Hoopla, or you can request it from the library and we can get you the hard copies if you want to continue. I think there are 10 or 11 Ivy and Bean books, so we didn't even make it halfway through the series. So if you're liking these and you want to continue, let us know. We'll see if we can't get those books for you. Oh, Daisy Ray is here now. She just finished eating her dinner. Well, you know, miss. Licking her lips because her dinner was good, I guess. All right. Like I said, this is the second time I've recorded this one, so hopefully this one's the right direction. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you. Have a great afternoon. Bye.